Top 10 Most Beautiful Waterfalls Around the World. Waterfalls. They are just so beautiful that we can watch them all day. We can often see rainbows above them and are one of the best views Mother Nature can give. We can do so many activities with them like trekking, wall climbing, jump diving, and of course, swimming. They are the perfect background for selfies and groupies. Plus, the sound of waterfalls is proven effective in soothing our tired mind and body after a long, stressful day at work. It can also improve our mood, breathing, and mental health. Waterfalls have abundant negative ions that can effectively increase the serotonin level in our body, which results in a positive change in our mood. Aside from the health benefits, they can also produce electricity for us, which is called hydroelectricity. There are different types of waterfalls in the world, such as cascade, block, cataract, chute, fan waterfalls, frozen waterfalls, horsetail waterfalls, multi-step waterfalls, plunge waterfalls, and punch bowl waterfalls. Until now, the number of waterfalls around the world is not definite because there are new discoveries that are being added and more places that are unexplored. But today, we will be focusing the most beautiful waterfalls, so if you want to know them, stay tuned and don't switch channels. In today's video, we'll give you the countdown for the top 10 most beautiful waterfalls around the world. Starting with their number 10, is the Sutherland Falls in New Zealand. You might be wondering where they got its name. Well, there's a short background. On an expedition in 1880, a prosecutor named Donald Sutherland accidentally discovered this falls while searching for a new route to Lake Wakatipu. To celebrate his discovery, they named it after him. The water that runs down on this falls comes from the Lake Quill and ends in the River of Arthur. If you are planning to visit this falls, you need to hike along the Track of Milford, which is considered one of the best walking trails in New Zealand. It is not easy to trek, so you should pack appropriate clothing, footwear, and gear to enjoy your trail, or else you'll be complaining of leg cramps and stuff. Dazzling on number 9 is the Plitvice Falls. Plitvice in Croatia will amaze you with its 16 cascading lakes and 90 waterfalls. Because of its beauty, there are an estimated 1.1 million tourists that comes here yearly. But what attracts the people in this place is the channel of falls and lakes of Plitvice. The water that runs down from the falls comes from the lakes above it that is known for its amazing ability to change color from bright emerald green to deep blue and faded gray. The water is influenced by the minerals and organisms present to this lake. Adding more, there is a famous legend about how this falls and the lake was created. According to the legend, a severe drought was experienced by the people of the region. The water is influenced by the minerals and organisms present to this lake. Adding more, there is a famous legend about how this falls and the lake was created. According to the legend, a severe drought was experienced by the people of the region. Helpless and thinking for a solution, they came up with a plan to seek help from the Black Queen's magic. The Black Queen granted their request and created the Plitvice Lakes and Falls. Hiding on number 8 is the Seljalandsfoss in Iceland. Although Iceland is mostly covered with ice, the summer season gives a reward to anyone who wants to visit its falls. You might be wondering, where does the water of these waterfalls come from? The answer is the melting ice flow from the Eyjafjallajökull and runs to Seljalands River, then passes over the cliff, which makes a waterfalls. I know you found those words hard to pronounce and spell because they are one of the most difficult names to remember. According to visitors, if you want to see the beauty of this falls, you need to walk behind the cascade of the falls to see the striking water above that meets the land. It's very famous, and people can't help but mesmerized by the unique view behind the cascade. They say it's like you're in a different world when you get there. Attracting visitors on number 7 is the Yosemite Falls in California. These waterfalls are the main attraction in the Yosemite National Park. Standing 2,425 feet above the ground, it holds the title as the tallest waterfalls in North America and the 5th in the world. This falls offers a moonbow display during springtime and a snow cone in the winter. Water that runs down to this falls comes from the melted snow in May and June. Once the snow from the high countries completely melts, this falls becomes dry. The sound of the waterfalls can be heard in most parts of the eastern Yosemite Valley. According to the legend, it was discovered by white men, but the Indians were first to occupy the valley. It was believed that at the base of the waterfalls lives the spirit of the evil witches or the Palori, and the people who live in the Yosemite forbid to go there because they were scared of the existing powers of the evil spirits. Nobody knows who coined this legend to the people, but it keeps on passing by generations. But people are coming back safely from their trip to Yosemite, so it is safe to go there. Freezing on number 6 is the Gullfoss Waterfalls in Iceland. Gullfoss means the Golden Falls. They coined it Golden Falls, not because it has gold deposit below, but because of the glacial sediments in the water that turns gold after being shunned in the sunlight. This natural wonder amazes the tourist with its unusual flow. Unlike other falls, the water falls into a very deep crevice that seems like going to the center of the earth, which makes it unique and unforgettable. Maybe what makes it unforgettable is due to the sacrifice of a young girl to protect this falls. This famous story is about a young girl who bravely walked barefoot from Reykjavik to Gullfoss to show her protest against the idea of using this falls to generate electricity. With this, she has kept the falls safe and far from the idea of hydroelectric energy. To honor her bravery, they have erected her statue near the falls. What a brave young girl. Since this waterfall cannot speak for itself, this girl made a move to preserve this beautiful falls. Now that's a real hero. Claimed the largest among other falls in the world is our number 5, the Victoria Falls in Africa. Known as the greatest curtain falling water in the world, Victoria Falls never fails to amaze its onlookers. This famous waterfalls can be seen on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Locals named this falls as Most Owatanya, or the smoke that thunders. The locals based it on the sound being produced by the falls and the mist, while its name Victoria Falls was from the Scottish explorer and missionary Dr. David Livingstone. He named them after the reigning queen at that time, Queen Victoria. What a history! If you're wondering where the water comes from in Victoria Falls, the answer is the Zambezi River. To upgrade your experience this fall, it would be nice to try the aerial tour from the operators that offer flights. Standing majestic on number 4 is the Iguazu Falls between Argentina and Brazil. If the volcano in this area didn't erupt millions of years ago, there will be no Iguazu Falls. This falls is well known to the world because of its multi-step and channel of falls. Tourists from Argentina and Brazil enjoys the majestic view of this falls and has been part of the travel list of every foreigner outside the border. Its name Iguazu came from the language of the indigenous Guarani, which means big water. This falls is divided into two sides since it is between Argentina and Brazil. The Argentinian side of Iguazu offers a jaw-dropping panoramic view, trails, catwalks, and view above the Iguazu, while the Brazilian side covers all the advantage points because they have the most complete panoramic views of the falls. But there is another surprise in Iguazu Falls. The U-shaped cliff that is referred to as the Devil's Throat or Garganta del Diablo serves as the fair median of the two sides. It offers the most impressive view of the Iguazu Falls. How nice! Hailed as the tallest among the tallest falls in the world is on our number 3, the Angel Falls. Standing 3,212 feet above the sea level is the Angel Falls in Venezuela. It was discovered and named after the bush pilot and gold hunter James Crawford Jimmy Angel when he was flying over the falls in 1937. This falls can be seen in the Canema National Park of Venezuela. When this falls was still unknown to the world, the occupants of this valley was the indigenous Camaracotos Pomone tribe. These tribes believe that this falls is the home of the malign spirits, so they keep their distance. This theory was junked when Angel discovered the falls in 1933. After the discovery, he fled back and brought his wife and friends to witness the beauty of the Angel Falls. So, if you are planning to see what they have seen, you can count on Rutaka and Avior Airlines because they can take you there. During your travel, you will see the deep jungle that is untouched by man as well as the mountains and the famous snake rivers. But before they grant your flight, you are owed to prove that you have been vaccinated against yellow fever. If not, then you're out on the trip. So keep that on your notes, folks. Starred in the movie Thor: The Dark World is our number 2, the Skogafoss Waterfall. This waterfalls in Iceland is said to be unforgettable and a must-visit when you get to Iceland. You can often see a rainbow on the foot of this falls as the sunlight shines through the water droplets on a sunny day. It can also make a double rainbow depending on the sunlight's angle. According to the people who have visited this falls, it feels like you are being called by the giant nature as it tosses over millions of gallons of water. If you are planning to visit here, it will only take you almost 2 hours from Reykjavik to Skogafoss Waterfall. When you see the waterfall from the ring road, it looks like a beautiful painting. For a bonus, a legend has been linked to this falls. According to the legend, the Viking settler hid the chest filled with gold and treasures behind the waterfalls. It is said that whoever gets them will have a new life with fortune. Sounds exciting, right? Imagine yourself enjoying the view and suddenly recovers a treasure. What a luck! From number 10 to number 2, they made us all fascinate with their beauty. Each of them is uniquely different from others, from their height, volume, and structure. But we haven't answered the question yet. Which holds the title as the most beautiful waterfall in the world? Behold, because our top pick is from the border of Canada and the United States. Ready to stun you is the Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls comes with 3 names: American Falls, Bridal Veil Falls, and Canadian Falls. This falls is hailed most beautiful in the world. The word Niagara was taken from the Iroquois Indian word Ongiara, which means the strait. This falls is part of the legacy of the last ice age, which is 18,000 years ago, and only became free from its state as fossil water after 12,500 years. Did you know that the water flow once stopped over the falls on the 29th of March 1848 due to an ice jam? The people took this chance to walk on the riverbed and recover some artifacts. Brave fellas, I must say. This continued for several months until the ice jam melted away. This falls became so famous to the world that it has been part of the movie scene of Superman. Also, there are daredevils who lost their lives trying to jump over the falls without any harness. Yikes. Why would someone conquer the impossible, right? Not because Superman did it doesn't mean we can. No matter how beautiful these waterfalls are, if mankind will continue to disturb them, they could be unhealthy or non-existent. They sure play a big role in our ecosystem, so saving them means saving our future. Which among these falls is your favorite? Or which of these are you planning to visit soon? Tell us in our comment section below, and we'd be delighted to read them. This has been our countdown for our top 10 most beautiful waterfalls around the world. Join us again next time for another informative and exciting video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Ciao!